Okay, so I'm gonna quickly show the movement I use to get into position. So the jump we're gonna do is around a 10-second time save over shimmying. It's worth doing if you're trying to get a time of, let's say, sub 20 minutes for Egypt percent glitchless. Okay, so part one of this, we're gonna look at the visual for climbing up here. So this position here is the extreme left of the possible positions, and this position here is the extreme right. So that's the extreme left, that's the extreme right. So you can see it's quite a range there. It's pretty easy just to run up to it. You know, you don't need to like stop in front of it and line up. But anyway, important thing is if you're on the if you're close to this extreme right position, you just want to make sure there's a little gap, at least some kind of gap in between the inside of Lara's left leg and the dark pixel that's part of the scarab picture. So let's say you rushed it and you ended up here. This position is obviously outside of our range of positions. I'm gonna line up a jump here. We're gonna go back to this lineup in a sec, but just to show you, there simply isn't space when you pull up too far to the right. There isn't space to fit in a running jump. Okay, so this position here, this is sort of a good position in the middle of the range. Okay, so the next part is lining up with a visual, and the visual I'm using, I'm going to highlight here. It's on the wall in the distance. So there's a blob, dark blob in the middle of that highlighted area. I'm going to show a close-up of that. So this blob, the way I saw it, the way I see it now, it has two knobs, hence the name. So yeah, the blob has two knobs, and we need to use these two knobs. Right. That's how it looks normally. I just highlighted it so it looked brighter. That's how it looks normally. Okay, here it is in the full picture. So yeah, you're gonna look for this. Try and remember where it is. I'm gonna turn and line up the edge of the platform that we're on. I'm gonna cover up that blob, but just leave those two knobs sticking out. So you don't want to see any other part of that darker patch. You just want to see the two little knobs. All right. Okay, so I've got my inputs shown now. I'm gonna climb up, line up. Okay. So gonna hold look, and then we're gonna hold up and right. And depending on which which of those two keys you press first, the camera will move. We're just using look to buffer our two inputs there. So when you release look, those up and right inputs will become active on the same frame. It will guarantee that will happen. When you release look, you want to press jump. You want to hold jump until she jumps, and you're still holding up and right. And then at a certain point mid-air, you need to stop curving. So it's around 2/3 of the way through the flight. And then just before she hits the wall, pressing action, do a late grab. So I thought I'd include sort of a 100% consistent way, which is really slow but might be useful for practicing, just to reassure yourself maybe that it is possible if you've never done it before. So what I'm doing here is cycling through 2 of the pause buffer keys in order to advance the game 1 frame at a time whilst holding inputs. So we're going to use that method. Maybe this is a bit too complicated, but anyway, I thought this was cool either way, so I'm going to do what we just did. So I've just released look, and I've just pressed jump. But now we're going to, at this moment, we're going to hold one of our pause buffer keys. So we have a choice of F2, F3, or F4. I happen to use F2 and F4. And with 2 of those keys, you can cycle through them. And what I'm going to do here is find a specific frame, which is where the first frame where Lara leaves the ground is this frame here. So her left foot has just left the ground. And then from this frame, we're going to cycle through another 14 frames, which will look like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, and then once you've done that, you're still holding all of those keys. Whichever of the buffer keys you're using, you keep holding that, but you're going to release the jump. You're going to release the up and right inputs. And then we're going to cycle through another 8 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we're in the position to press grab. So you're just going to hold grab and release your buffer key. Okay, that's everything I wanted to say, so thanks for watching. Good luck.